Hello brown ladies, two brown girls here. Welcome back to our channel. We are here to talk about our favorite brushes and why we use them and how we use them and why we prefer them. So, Miss Kim on stage.
Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about foundation brushes. The first brush that I'm going to talk about is the Morphe M439 brush. It's just a dome-shaped brush. I specifically like this brush when I'm using my Hourglass stick foundation. That foundation does move really well, but anytime you're using a stick foundation, it's usually a little bit stiffer to move around. So I do like this brush because I feel like it moves the product better, so I can blend it. I also like using this brush because I feel like it gives better coverage. So whenever I'm using a liquid foundation and I'm having a breakout spell and I need to kind of pack on the foundation, I can stipple it in, and I feel like this gives really good full coverage.
It's because it's so dense.
Yeah, it's because it's dense and it's everything in life. Like, yeah. I don't break this one off all too often, but when I do, child, I'm trying to be like flawless. So Hourglass, or anytime I use a stick foundation, I do like it because I feel like it moves product really well. Or if I'm using a foundation and I'm looking for full coverage,
that's your brush.
This is my go-to, child. This is it.
So my very first favorite foundation brush was called the Cailyn O Wow brush.
But she hipped me the game too.
I love this brush depending on what foundation you're using. So if you're using like a thicker consistency foundation, so like cream foundations or foundation that's liquid but maybe thicker. So I love this because it does, Scotty calls it the toothbrush.
He does.
But it's very dense. You cannot see through it. Not to mention that, I don't know, it just like, it buffers everything in and it just works. It's like cuts everything, all your steps. But it depends on the foundation that you're using. So the foundations I don't like to use this with is really liquidy foundations, more specifically like MAC's foundation, the liquid one. I feel like it can get streaky. So I just found that depending on what it is, I like it. But this is a Cailyn O Wow brush. There have been dupes for these. Someone had sent me one where it looks just like this except for the bristles are longer. But I don't know what the bristles were made out of, but it was like the dupe was like repelling the foundation. Like it wasn't absorbing it a little bit so I could blend and buffer it in. It was just like sitting on top of the bristles. So I haven't found a dupe that I like in place of the Cailyn O Wow brush. So this one, and they come in different sizes. There's a large one.
Are these the same?
No, this isn't a. No, this one's a large. This is the larger one. Honestly, they're the same. This was the very first one that they did, and then I don't know why they updated. But there's one that's even bigger than this, and they even have a set of these, like different set. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys.
Oh, the ones with like for your eyes and stuff?
Yes. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I only like these for foundations, maybe blending a liquid contour.
Yeah.
But as far as eyes and all that, you don't need a whole set of these. You just
That's so difficult, child. Use your brush.
Yeah, use your brush. And this just one.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so my next brush is the Makeup Geek foundation stippling brush. It's a flat tip brush. I pretty much use it the same as this one. Actually, I use this for any foundation as well, but I do feel like it moves product really well whenever I'm using like a stick foundation. But anything really, I use it and I stipple it on and I can move it in. It doesn't quite give the same flawless coverage that this one does, but pretty much any foundation I can use this. I just stipple it on, swirl it, buff it through, and it gives a really nice coverage. Again, not as thick as this one, but this is my jam too. I don't use it quite as often as I used to, but yeah, this is actually a really good brush, and it's Makeup Geek is phenomenal quality product for a really great price. Like, that's why I love Makeup Geek. So this is a good foundation brush if you're, I like Morphe, but let's talk about what Morphe's been doing to me lately, okay? She sheds, yeah. And not only that, this one's actually pretty good about it because I haven't bought that.
Pops off.
they're loose.
Yeah, the
They
top will
get loose.
or the bristles will go inside of this.
And I don't like that. I've had MAC brushes since forever.
Yeah.
And I'm a faithful brush washer, and they do not. This doesn't get loose. My bristles don't flake or shed. So I don't really understand. Like, I understand inexpensive, but I don't want to sacrifice quality. And sometimes I feel like with Morphe, on some of her products, on some of her brushes, you are sacrificing the quality.
Yeah, so I have a Morphe brush as well. It's the M442. This one is not as dense. You can kind of see through it, even though it's a little dirty. I like this one for my thinner liquid. So my foundation, my daily foundation, I keep talking about it, is the MAC Matchmaster 7.5, and I use that one, and it's light. And so I use this brush, put it on my hand, and just kind of stipple it on, and it just looks like skin. You'll see it in our daily routine video. I use this brush and my foundation, and it's been amazing. This brush hasn't started shedding on me quite yet, and this isn't loose, but I also think it depends on how much you wash your brushes too, and that making sure that you don't, I don't know if you do this, but when you're rinsing them out, always rinsing them down.
Yep.
Because the minute you rinse like this, then you are, no matter what brush you have, you are gonna mess up the glue or whatever they use to attach it down here. It's gonna get messed up. So you definitely want to always wash your brushes down. Same when you apply like whatever you clean it with. You want to do more like this opposed to like pouring it into. So those are just like a few tips, but so far this brush has been good. It hasn't, but it is newer.
Okay, my next one, this is my ultimate. Okay, this is my ultimate. Even sometimes when I use brushes, sometimes I'll still go over them with the beauty blender. I am an avid beauty blender user.
Who's that one by?
This is the original. This is the beauty blender.
Okay.
This was her limited edition Christmas red carpet thing, whatever she had going on, and I bought like 5 of them because they were on sale. This isn't wet, so you can see that it's smaller. The proper way to use your listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now the secret to the beauty blender: damp it.
I don't like it down.
I didn't mean dampen it. Oh yeah, no, dampen it. That is what I meant. I don't know why you don't like it damp.
I don't like it. I don't know why. I don't. For me personally, I mean, I'll spray water on it or you know, dampen it with some of my clients depending on their skin type. But for me personally, I don't like it.
No.
I don't like that new silicone one either.
Oh, I'm not a fan of that. Don't be getting all into these gimmicks. I've been thinking about, don't do it. You can use the Real Techniques one, works, or this one. I always buy Real Techniques. I do prefer this one over the Real Techniques. It's softer, and when you wet it, it just expands, and it just gives you such a flawless, like, I just love what it does for your like foundation, what it does. Even when I use these, sometimes I still go over it with this just to like make sure it's not streaky or everything's blending in really well. And when you wet it, even when you're applying your setting powder, if you have like a loose setting powder, it just helps it like melt into your skin. When you use it dry, I find that it doesn't blend as well because it doesn't, like when you use it wet, it's taking the product and it's like moving it and melting it into your skin, versus when you use it dry. It's everything. This is actually of all of these, the one that I'm going to use the most faithful is the original beauty blender. So
those are the brushes that we like for foundations and that we use on a regular basis, depending on what we have going on. I hope that this helps you guys when you're choosing your brushes for your foundations. If you guys have different brushes that you use, please make sure you put them in the comments below, because we're always open to try different types of brushes. If you have a better brand for a brush that looks like this, we would love to hear about it.
Absolutely love.
We would love to know, because we don't want it to shed anymore. Don't forget to follow us on social media. I am Deandra Giselle.
Miss Kev on Stage on the gram.
And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And you know, while you're on our channel, maybe like go through and see some other videos.
Popular uploads. Yes,
that you may not have seen. Like husbands do our makeup.
Absolutely. And you should check out our daily routine we just posted that people seem to be enjoying. Make sure you check it out.
Yes, and Babe did the music.
Yes,
Scotty
and it's
Fingers.
fire.
Yes, he does our music all the time.
Yeah, he always does our music.
Yes. So until next time.
All right. Bye.